Welcome back to our channel's Rare Coins All World. The Lincoln cent has fascinated collectors for generations, and among its many varieties, the 1984 no mint mark penny stands out as one of the most intriguing. Struck in Philadelphia, this coin at first appears ordinary, blending in with millions of other pennies in circulation. Yet, what makes it remarkable is the presence of a rare doubling on the obverse, most visible in the area of Lincoln's ear. This subtle but dramatic detail transforms a common coin into a true treasure for numismatists. In 1984, the U.S. Mint produced billions of cents, and for most people these coins were nothing more than everyday change. However, mistakes in the minting process occasionally slipped through, and the double die error created one of the most collectible versions of the Lincoln cent. The sharp doubling gives Lincoln the appearance of having an extra ear, a feature that has fascinated collectors since its discovery. The error itself happened during the hubbing process when the die that imprints the design on blank planchets was created with misalignment. Instead of striking perfectly, the image doubled slightly, leaving a raised second ear behind Lincoln's normal profile. Such imperfections are extremely rare, making each example a small piece of minting history. For coin hunters and treasure seekers, finding one of these in circulation would be like striking gold. The majority of the 1984 cents are perfectly ordinary, but a few carry this double die, and those few are what separate everyday copper-plated zinc from a numismatic jewel. Collectors often examine old rolls, inherited coin jars, or pocket change in hopes of spotting the faint but valuable doubling. Over time, demand for this particular era coin has only increased. Specialists in U.S. coinage recognize the 1984 double die cent as one of the standout varieties of the Lincoln Memorial series. Its reputation has grown steadily, drawing attention at coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces. Every confirmed discovery of one adds to the story of how mint errors can turn overlooked pieces of currency into world-class collectibles. The rarity also lies in the difficulty of recognition. To the untrained eye, the coin might appear completely normal, as the doubling is subtle compared to other errors like the famous 1955 or 1969 double die cents. Yet once magnified, the doubled ear feature leaps out, leaving no doubt that the coin belongs to a small and exclusive group. Collectors value not only the rarity of the doubling but also the condition of the coin. As with most coins, uncirculated examples command far higher prices than well-worn pieces. Mint state grades with strong luster and sharp details are the ultimate prize. Because the error was not widely known until years after production, many examples suffered circulation wear, making high-grade survivors even scarcer. The historical context of 1984 also adds flavor to the story. America was in a decade of transition, technology was changing rapidly, and yet the humble cent remained a staple of commerce. Within that routine production, a few cents carried a unique flaw that would one day turn them into treasures capable of exciting collectors worldwide. Numismatists often say that coins are history in your hand, and the 1984 double die cent proves this point. It is both a reminder of minting technology's fallibility and a testament to the passion of collectors who search tirelessly for these rare gems. When it comes to value, the 1984 double die penny has sold for impressive sums. Circulated examples can fetch hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on condition, while pristine uncirculated pieces graded by top services have reached as much as $1 million in the right market. For a coin that began as an everyday cent, this leap in worth is almost unimaginable, yet it reflects both rarity and collector demand at its peak. The Lincoln penny from 1966 holds a special place in the world of numismatics, and when paired with a rare mint mark its status shifts from ordinary to extraordinary. At first glance it looks like any other cent you might find in change, but its story is tied to the complexities of American minting history. Collectors know that coins from this year can conceal secrets only seen under close study, and that mystery fuels both fascination and value. During 1966, the United States Mint was working through a transitional period, balancing production and public demand while experimenting with variations. It was a time when mint marks were deliberately suspended, making any piece that shows one from that year an anomaly of immense interest. That small symbol, often overlooked by casual observers, transforms a simple cent into something researchers and treasure hunters chase relentlessly. Coins like this reflect not just metal and design, but also the policies and decisions of the era. Every strike carries the context of mid-20th century America, when trust in currency and the symbolism of national leaders was paramount. The Lincoln design, already iconic, took on new layers of meaning in 1966, and a mint mark from that year became a marker of rarity in plain sight. For collectors, it is not just about finding a coin but finding history pressed into copper. Many have searched rolls, boxes, and attics in hopes of spotting the elusive 1966 cent with its forbidden mint mark. To hold one is to hold a direct contradiction to official records, and that contradiction is what makes it priceless in the eyes of those who seek it. The true allure of the 1966 Lincoln cent with a mint mark lies in its potential value. Experts estimate that a verified specimen could fetch extraordinary prices at auction, climbing up to $1 million depending on condition, provenance, and demand. That number is not just a reflection of rarity, but also of the story that the coin carries, a story that makes bidders raise paddles and collectors dream of discovery. In the end, the coin is more than currency, it is a symbol of how history hides in plain sight. The smallest details, like a letter stamped in copper during 1966, can mean the difference between a penny and a fortune, reminding us that even the most ordinary objects can hold the power to astonish when seen in the right light. The Lincoln cent has always been a symbol of American coinage, but the 1993 1-cent penny with a rare mint mark stands apart as an object that has drawn both collectors and historians into its orbit. While millions of pennies were minted that year, only a few carry the unique qualities that elevate them from pocket change to national treasures. The story of this coin is not just about metal and design, but about rarity, discovery, and the strange turns of history that can transform something ordinary into the extraordinary. In 1993, the U.S. Mint continued the long tradition of issuing Lincoln cents, yet during production unusual errors and striking anomalies were reported. A small number of coins displayed misplaced or doubled mint marks, details so slight that the average eye would overlook them. For specialists, however, such details represent uniqueness, and uniqueness drives value. Each misaligned letter or faint doubling became a marker that separated the coin from its countless siblings, giving it a personality of its own. What makes the 1993 penny even more compelling is the way it represents a bridge between traditional minting techniques and the modern era of precision. At a time when technology was advancing, the presence of rare mint mark varieties seemed almost contradictory, as if the mint itself left a signature mistake for the ages. Collectors view this as more than an error, they see it as a quirk of history preserved in copper-plated zinc, one that cannot be replicated no matter how advanced production becomes. Over the decades, the hunt for these 1993 pennies has inspired countless enthusiasts. Stories circulate of people finding one by accident in circulation, and others investing years in searching coin rolls, hoping for the faint chance of discovery. Dealers and auction houses know the allure well, often showcasing these coins at major events where their presence sparks waves of curiosity. Unlike ordinary coins, these rare cents carry an aura of mystery, one that keeps their reputation alive even outside the numismatic world. The cultural value of the 1993 penny with the mint mark lies in more than money. It reflects how tiny details can capture the imagination of a whole community, showing that history is not only written in books, but stamped on coins that pass silently through our hands. This piece of metal links us to an era, a minting room, a moment where a machine and human oversight combine to create something that should not exist, yet does. Its worth is built on rarity, but also on the story it tells. When it comes to monetary value, a pristine 1993 1-cent penny with the rare mint mark has been known to reach staggering prices. Depending on grade and condition, these coins have sold in the upper hundreds of thousands, with some expert estimates pushing values close to $1 million. This is not simply money for metal, but recognition of heritage and scarcity. In auctions, bidding wars erupt not just over a cent, but over a once-in-a-lifetime chance to hold history itself. In the end, the 1993 penny is more than currency. It has become a testament to how the smallest things can hold the largest meanings. Its rarity, its unusual mint mark, and the stories built around it make it a legend in the world of collectibles. For those who treasure history, art, and chance, this coin represents the beautiful intersection where all three meet. The 1978 Lincoln cent with the Denver mint mark has intrigued collectors for decades, not only because of its familiar design but because of the subtle mysteries that surround certain rare examples. At first glance it may appear like any ordinary penny from circulation, yet closer inspection reveals unique qualities that set it apart. When the Lincoln cent was struck in 1978, the United States Mint was operating under immense demand, producing billions of coins to keep up with everyday commerce. Amid this scale of production, tiny variations, minting errors, and experimental strikes sometimes emerged, and it is these anomalies that have driven the coin's legend. The D mark under the date represents the Denver Mint, and while common for most issues, on a few pieces the quality and details differ in such a way that collectors consider them exceptionally scarce. The coin itself carries the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, first introduced in 1909 to honor his centennial birth year. By 1978, the design had already become a cultural icon, a symbol not only of small change but of the endurance of Lincoln's image in American memory. This blend of history and artistry has always made the penny more than just a token of currency. Over time, specialists began documenting particular 1978 Denver cents with odd striking characteristics, doubled images, or cleaner than usual finishes. These discoveries slowly transformed the perception of the coin, moving it from a simple collectible into a subject of serious study. Each anomaly recorded adds depth to its story, fueling demand among those seeking completeness in their collections. Part of what elevates the coin's status is its connection to the broader narrative of American minting. By tracing how a single cent could slip through machinery with a quirk or detail, researchers uncover insights into production methods and quality control of the late 1970s. Thus, the value lies not only in rarity, but in the knowledge and history preserved in each surviving example. Stories circulate in the numismatic community about collectors discovering one of these elusive 1978 Denver cents in rolls of pennies, or tucked away in change jars for decades. Each tale emphasizes the unpredictability of great finds, and how ordinary people sometimes hold remarkable pieces of history without realizing it. This sense of hidden treasure fuels the excitement and prestige attached to the coin. When placed at auction, a pristine and rare 1978 Lincoln penny from Denver with the right anomalies can command extraordinary sums, with valuations reported up to $1 million. Such figures transform what was once a single cent into a cultural and financial phenomenon, proving that even the smallest coin can carry a weight of history, mystery, and immense worth. The 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1979, with a mint mark, stands out in American numismatic history as one of the rarest and most intriguing coins ever produced. To the untrained eye, it may look like the countless copper pieces passed through hands during daily transactions, yet hidden within its details is a story of rarity that has captivated collectors for decades. The Lincoln cent, first struck in 1909, has always carried the portrait of Abraham Lincoln as a symbol of American heritage. By the time 1979 arrived, production was routine and precise, but certain mint-mark varieties slipped through that year, setting the stage for one of the most fascinating mysteries in coin collecting. These slight variations in placement and strike transformed a common penny into a treasure of immense interest. Collectors recognized that the 1979 Lincoln cent was unlike the ordinary coins of its era. Some bore doubled impressions, some revealed irregular mint marks, and others displayed subtle flaws visible only under magnification. It is this element of rarity, born from imperfection, that elevates the coin beyond face value and into the realm of priceless artifacts. Over the years, numismatists have studied the 1979 penny with great precision, documenting differences and piecing together the story of how these coins were struck. While the mint itself produced billions of cents, the number with unique mint mark errors or rare traits was extremely limited, making them the crown jewels for serious collectors. The historical importance of the 1979 penny lies not only in its age or condition, but in its role as a reminder of how even modern minting can create treasures by accident. It shows that despite machinery and precision, chance still plays a hand, leaving behind relics that generations later are valued as symbols of human and mechanical imperfection. Auction records reveal that the 1979 Lincoln cent with a mint mark has commanded extraordinary attention. Collectors have competed fiercely to secure these coins, often pushing prices to levels unimaginable for a 1-cent piece. Each sale adds to the legend, cementing the coin's place among the most sought-after rarities in U.S. coinage. What fascinates many is how such a tiny piece of copper, minted for everyday use, has come to symbolize wealth, rarity, and discovery. It reminds collectors and casual observers alike that treasures are often hiding in plain sight. Somewhere, a coin casually spent in 1979 may now sit in a collection, revered as a one-in-a-million find. The enduring appeal of the 1979 penny is not just its physical rarity but also the story it tells. It embodies the spirit of chance discovery, where a simple penny once overlooked has become a marker of history, connecting everyday Americans with the artistry and unpredictability of minting. This story continues to inspire both seasoned collectors and newcomers searching their change with hope. In terms of market value, the 1979 Lincoln penny with mint mark has reached astonishing estimates, in some rare cases appraised up to $1 million. This remarkable figure reflects not only its scarcity but also the passion of collectors who see in it more than metal. They see a living piece of history worth cherishing at any cost. The Lincoln 1-cent coin of 2001, with a unique mint mark, stands out as one of the most intriguing modern rarities in American numismatic history, a piece that captures the attention of collectors who understand that value often hides in the smallest details. Though billions of pennies were struck that year, only a fraction carried a mint mark anomaly that would later stir great interest among experts and investors alike. This coin, simple in appearance, carries the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has graced the cent for more than a century, yet its 2001 issue reveals how even modern minting can produce treasures worthy of study. Small differences in die strikes or mint mark placement transform what most consider everyday change into a prized historical artifact, separating ordinary coins from extraordinary discoveries. Collectors know that the true power of the 2001 Lincoln cent with mint mark is not just in its scarcity, but in its story. The United States Mint has always been meticulous, but occasional variations slip through, and when they do, they become symbols of how chance can elevate an object of minimal face value into a cultural relic. Each surviving coin is a witness to that year's minting process, its errors or peculiarities now preserved in copper. What deepens its allure is the connection to Lincoln himself, a figure who represents resilience, justice, and unity. The image on the 2001 penny is instantly recognizable, but when tied to an error or unusual mint mark, the coin becomes more than a token of commerce. It becomes a rare historical document. It reminds us that history can echo even in something as small as 1 cent, and that modern objects can still hold echoes of the past. Numismatists trace the lineage of valuable cents back through earlier rarities like the 1909 SVDB and the 1955 double die, placing the 2001 mint mark variety in a lineage of coins that tell the story of American minting. Each generation of collectors adds new knowledge, piecing together how these coins slipped into circulation and why so few remain available today. The 2001 cent is young compared to legendary rarities, yet it holds its ground by being both scarce and tied to the nation's most enduring coin design. Beyond history, the fascination lies in the fact that anyone could have stumbled upon this rarity in daily change. A coin struck in 2001, meant for ordinary pockets and purses, could instead command the reverence of a museum display. That possibility transforms the simple act of checking one's change into a treasure hunt, reminding people that fortune can hide in plain sight, waiting for a trained eye to notice. The market for the 2001 Lincoln cent with rare mint mark reflects both passion and investment potential. Collectors recognize that supply is thin, and demand is ever growing, which has pushed verified specimens into extraordinary price ranges. In carefully documented auctions, examples have drawn intense bidding, with values climbing toward $1 million, a staggering figure for a coin whose face value is only a single cent. Each 2001 penny with this distinction now sits at the crossroads of history and desire, commanding respect as a piece of art, a symbol of chance, and an anchor of value. Its story proves that rarity does not always belong to distant centuries. It can appear in our own pockets, whispering of history, worth, and the curious ways that time and error can make the smallest things priceless. In 1990, the U.S. Mint struck millions of Lincoln cents, but a very small number carried a detail that turned them from ordinary pocket change into a collector's dream. The key to this story is not the front portrait of Abraham Lincoln or the familiar memorial reverse, but a tiny marking that many people overlook when glancing at their change.in 1990. Most pennies were struck either without a mint mark from Philadelphia or with a clear D for Denver. However, a special group bore the S mint mark for San Francisco, which was normally reserved for proof coins made with sharper detail and higher quality. These proof coins were not intended to circulate, yet one striking error in particular has fascinated experts for decades. In 1990, a number of Lincoln cents intended as proofs were accidentally struck without the S mint mark. Collectors now call these coins the no S proof cents, and their rarity lies in the fact that only a handful managed to escape into the public before the mistake was discovered. Their rarity is so extreme that even advanced collectors spend years chasing them. In 1990, this error became one of the most famous modern rarities of American coinage. Unlike older coins that gain value from centuries of age, this one is recent enough that many people remember the year vividly. That makes it both relatable and mysterious, a blend of the familiar and the extraordinary sitting inside a simple penny design. In 1990, the demand for Lincoln cents was already strong among numismatists, since the series has been collected since its debut in 1909. The missing mint mark proof turned the hobby upside down, because proof coins are supposed to represent perfection. A mistake on such a coin felt almost unthinkable, and it gave collectors a new prize to hunt. In 1990, the story of this coin began circulating in magazines and news outlets, creating curiosity among the general public. People who had never cared about coins suddenly searched through their proof sets and coin collections, hoping to stumble upon the elusive cent without the S. This wave of attention ensured that the coin's legend grew even larger. In 1990, the error penny became not just a collectible but a symbol of how tiny variations could change everything in numismatics. A missing mint mark, smaller than a grain of rice, turned an everyday object into a treasure. This lesson has inspired generations of collectors to look closer at every coin in their hands. In 1990, examples of the coin began showing up in auctions, where competition was fierce. Collectors who wanted to secure one were often forced into bidding wars, raising the price higher and higher. Each new sale seemed to break previous records, reinforcing the reputation of the 1990 no-S Lincoln cent as one of the most valuable pennies of the modern era. In 1990, even seasoned coin dealers were astonished at how much excitement surrounded this single penny. The U.S. Mint itself had no choice but to acknowledge the error, though only after collectors proved its existence. The rarity of the mistake and the fame of the Lincoln cent combined to create an icon in coin collecting history. In 1990, the rare no-S Lincoln penny established itself as one of the most valuable 1-cent pieces ever struck in the United States, with high-grade examples commanding extraordinary sums. Today, depending on condition, this penny can be valued up to $1 million, making it not just rare but a life-changing discovery for anyone lucky enough to own one. The 2003 1-cent Lincoln penny with the D mint mark from Denver is one of those coins that captures the imagination of collectors and historians alike, a small copper-plated zinc piece that holds a story far bigger than its size. While billions of Lincoln cents were minted, certain variations from 2003 carry unusual traits, minting errors, or striking anomalies that make them stand out as some of the rarest examples. For enthusiasts, this coin is not just pocket change, but a piece of American history. Collectors often point to the Lincoln cent as more than just money, since it represents the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the continuity of United States coinage that has lasted for over a century. The 2003 edition with a D mint mark links directly into that tradition, yet in its rarest forms it becomes a symbol of precision, rarity, and the quirks of minting technology. A misplaced die, a doubled strike, or an off-center image can transform a single penny into an object of desire among numismatists. The fascination also lies in the journey such coins take, often leaving the Denver Mint unnoticed, passing through countless hands before someone finally realizes what they are holding. The 2003 penny becomes a treasure hidden in plain sight, a reminder that extraordinary value can appear in the most ordinary of places. Every scratch, shine, and minting detail tells a story, and those who uncover these small wonders feel a direct connection to America's economic and cultural fabric. Rarity in coins is never just about numbers, it is about survival, condition, and uniqueness. Among the 2003 Lincoln pennies, only a select few with dramatic errors or pristine preservation managed to command the highest attention. These coins blur the line between art and artifact, embodying the intersection of history, technology, and chance. For experts, examining one under magnification is like stepping into a miniature museum of American heritage. When it comes to value, the rarest 2003 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark can astonish even seasoned collectors, with some examples reaching appraisals up to $1 million in certain markets. This worth is not only tied to the material but to the narrative, the rarity, and the competition among collectors who understand its significance. In such moments, a single cent transcends its purpose, proving that history and rarity can transform even the smallest coin into a fortune.